The run to 328 has come to the finish line. Greg McDermott looking to become the all-time winningest coach in Creighton basketball history. His Jays lead 39-12 at halftime. I'm Jimmie Allen. That is Alex Drake. This is the Roll Jays podcast, high above the chai, or live above the chai, as some would like to call this segment. We are coming to you at the halftime point, and a very slow start for Creighton. 1 of 10 from field to start the game. They've absolutely blown the game open since then.
Yeah, little flat in here to start, both on the court and in the stands. But obviously, that is something that you have to work through, and they did it. They're up 27 at half, and all things are pointing to 328 coming into fruition.
And the catalyst that they found was getting the ball in Steven Ashworth's hand, letting him find Ryan Kalkbrenner. They were playing from 1 to 11 and back, just playing a two-man game. That was really the difference in the spark that the Jays needed. Right now, at the end of that half, with 30 seconds left, Houston Christian hit a basket, but before that, they were 0 of 21 from the field in a 9-minute stretch there, and the Jays playing great defense tonight.
Yeah, Creighton's been a little bit suffocating at times on the defensive end. Obviously, we went through our struggles on the offensive end with a little bit of carelessness, but things are looking good. Maybe not to the level that we would expect against a team that won 6 games last year and has a new head coach, but basketball is a game of runs. It always has been. It always will be. And sometimes you're gonna have a slow start, but again, you don't have a whole lot to complain about. If I'm gonna pick something to complain about,
that's what we do. That's what we do.
Is you had a run of being careless, and you had 5 turnovers in the first half, which doesn't seem that bad, except for they came in bunches.
Yeah, and Creighton had a drought of their own. They went for 5 minutes without a bucket in that first half, which is why the total score of this game right now is 51 points. And I think that when you talk about being able to rely on old reliable and going inside to Ryan Kalkbrenner, I think the Jays are trying to figure out some things early in this season, because you're going to run into some guys like Hunter Dickinson later in the season where it's not going to be as easy as getting it into number 11 and it's an automatic bucket.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that I will say that I look forward to those games is not as many double teams, letting Kalkbrenner kind of do his work. He's been triple teamed a few times tonight. What I really want to see...
Credit to Houston Christian for that, too.
Yeah, 100%. Houston Christian, all credit goes to them for executing their game plan to a degree. Obviously, they're not shooting well, but they're taking the air out of the ball. They're limiting possessions, which is part of the reason it took Creighton a while to get going.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see if they go with that same approach in the second half. I think a lot of the reason they got into that slump that we just talked about, that 0 of 21 slump, is they were dribbling the ball a lot and trying to take the shot clock down as low as they could. And they were in a little bit of a rhythm early in the game, and it kind of feels like they dribbled themselves out of it.
Yeah, to some degree. When you come in with a game plan like that and you get hot, if you're dedicated to that game plan, it can take a little bit of air out of you.
Yeah.
Where sometimes you just got to let your horses run. One thing I want to see from Creighton in the second half is I do want to see more points off turnovers. They've only got 5 this half. I want to see them take complete control on the glass. They only have a 6 rebound advantage right now. But you got to look at how the game is played and what's been happening. Creighton just really needs to take over in terms of dominating the pace, dominating at the level that they can.
Ryan Kalkbrenner leads all scorers right now with 12. That's as many points as Houston Christian has as a team, by the way. Steven Ashworth has 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He has yet to hit a double-double in his college career. He's flirting with a triple-double through the first half. It'd be great to see Greg McDermott get 328, but also see Steven get his first triple-double of his career.
I would like to have more than one, or maybe we'll have another career milestone other than that double-double too tonight, potentially. I'd love... Anytime you have a reason to celebrate, it's good, and if you can lump a bunch of celebrations together, it makes for a good night.
Something not to celebrate. Mason Miller in street clothes tonight was not available for the Jays. It seems to be a week, not even a week to week, a game-to-game situation where it feels like somebody else just isn't readily available. This team needs to find a way to stay healthy for the late run of the season.
Yeah, 100%. You got to find a way to stay healthy. I will say the one thing good about this is you're getting minutes in different lineups that are, potentially preparing you for those tougher games. We've talked about it a lot. Depth has been an issue the last couple of years. You're seeing deep rotations early in the year right now, which you should, but these guys are getting deeper into the rotation, getting more quality minutes for more guys in case something like this were to happen later in the season.
I remember early in the offseason, Mac talking about the biggest hurdle for this team was this team learning to find a way to play as a team. And I think that was readily evident. We saw 3 different possessions early in this game where you had open looks to Ryan Kalkbrenner under the basket. Jemiah Neal just missed him high on one. It might have been 2 for Jemiah Neal, where he just completely missed him as a whole the second time. And that's just finding rhythm on the floor and learning guys' tendencies and where they're going to be. And it seems to be something this Jays team through 3 games has struggled a little bit.
Yeah, at times, but on the flip side, there's times where we're up here sitting and we're yelling at a guy to take a shot, and he makes a pass to another guy who makes an extra pass, and it's a wide open 3. And so, I mean, you're not going to be perfect ever on the court. I think in games like this, those misses stand out more just because they are very visible. Whereas, your hit percentage when there's less is probably going to be higher.
This is the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. Just a reminder, you can donate to the Bird Club, the NIL collective for Creighton. It will benefit your favorite student athletes at Creighton, not just the men's basketball team, but every student athlete at Creighton will benefit from it. It'll also benefit this podcast as well. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen now. You can make a donation, and it will benefit the Roll Jays podcast. You kind of talked about it a minute ago. You wanted to see this team cause more points off of turnovers, and that's an emphasis for this team as a whole. I want to see the young guys get a little more playing time here in the second half, and I want to see Jackson McAndrews get kind of back into that flow we saw him in the first game. I'd also like to see Ty Davis run the offense a little bit.
I'd really like to see Ty Davis take off. He hasn't looked like a fish out of water out there on the court when he's been out there, but I like to see him gain some confidence, hit a couple of shots, get to the rim. He had a nice take to the basket tonight. It just got blocked. I'd like to see him get in a rhythm because he's got, whether we know it or not, at some point he's going to be very important to this program. It could be this season or it could be next year when he takes over for Stephen Ashworth.
Fred King got 4 minutes, 4 points. He was 2 of 2 from the field. Arguably his best 4 minutes of his Blue Jays career.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. I mean, I'm still always going to defer to that Texas game 2 years ago where
Iowa.
He was the Texas game 2 years ago.
Okay.
Where he was kind of a monster, at least in the first half. That whole 6-game stretch. But tonight, he's been effective when he's out there. He's in the right position. He's had a couple of great steals. He's drawn a couple of fouls. He's just got to continue to build. He's got to keep adding the building blocks and keep getting there.
This has been the Roll Jays podcast here at halftime. Live above the Chai, Alex Drake, Jimmie Allen. We'll be back with you live on 1620 The Zone. Immediately following John Bishop's postgame. Get your phone calls in 402-951-1620. We'd love to hear from you. Again, the score at halftime, Creighton 39, Houston Christian 12. We'll see you after the game. Go Jays.